Microphones and Monsters is a Creative Typo production. Special thanks to Mead and Patrick T. Arsenault, our executive producer level supporters from Patreon.
Imagine a place where ancient secrets and unnatural horrors lie dormant. A place where the veil between worlds is thin, and the creatures of the night roam free. On Microphones and Monsters, a ragtag crew of travelers sets sail for one such destination. But beware, dear listener, for the horrors of Farzine are not for the faint of heart.
You know, I'd like to go back to something that Marceline had said that I think is maybe on the right track. These shrines that they've been making are made out of Wiklamite, so perhaps we could stealthily take some from them. I know that it's not good to be able to give it back to them, but if we must feign giving it to them, we may as well maintain their resources rather than adding to them. And I do think that we should probably scout things out before we try and present them with any Wiklamite, just to try and understand them and their goals as much as possible before even engaging them.
Yeah, so the directions that y'all all got leads you up the streets, through the town, and toward the volcano. The grade of the incline steadily increased as you got closer to the volcano. You passed homes, inns, and shops till you're left standing at the base of Kaza, and then you walked up a narrow path, meandering up the mountainside, disappearing around the other side, and the trail folds back into the mountain, steadily climbing upward. After ascending a quarter of the way up the mountain, you see two priests, a man and a woman, flank what you assume to be the Shrine of Ghat. It is a strikingly accurate replica of the mountain you've just walked up, including the trails and the shrine. The icon is made of the same greenish stones you've brought with you from Rasante. The only shelter the priests have is a three-sided stone shelter with a thatch roof.
Sparse.
So it's not like it's not a place where people live, for sure.
All right, then. Well, we'll approach the people there at the shrine.
All right.
Sir, arms.
How can I help you today? The man speaks up.
Yes, I am traveling here with my companions, and I have an interest in religions and religious proceedings from other priests. So I would be very interested in learning more about your practices.
Oh, yes. The priesthood honors the volcano that gave birth to Farzine. Without the volcano, there would be no life. We believe that Farzine exists at the whim of the volcano. To honor the mountain, we have adopted the term Ghat.
Yes, I believe I had heard that it was the name in your language.
Ghats are the trails that lead to the mountain summit. It is from our language, yes.
Well, that is interesting. So, can you tell me more about these shrines? I'd heard there are multiple of them.
Yes, there are multiple shrines. This shrine is the largest and most sacred. But, as you already know, it is not the only one. There are small shrines throughout Farzine for the adherents to visit and pay homage to.
I see.
How big is this shrine again?
I mean, it's
Sorry, Richard.
I don't know if it actually says the size of it. It's a nice size. Like, you see all the details of the mountain trails and stuff. Like, it's
I was literally thinking the size of a child's volcano science project.
No. Like,
It's the size of the replica of the Devil's Tower in Close Encounters.
I'm seeing if there was like any. I mean, I could maybe find an answer for you for like the actual size, but it's a decent size.
It's okay. It's a big one.
Yeah, it's the big one. The other ones would be smaller. Yes.
Got it. You go, Richard. Now I'm sorry.
And they seem to be made of a very interesting material. What is that?
Oh, it is Wiklamite, a sacred stone, and the base material for our icon. Our public shrines are all constructed in part of Wiklamite to harness, focus, and concentrate the divine energies of Kaza.
Kaza. I regret to say that I'm not familiar. Could you enlighten me?
Kaza is the name of the mountain.
Ah, I see.
And Kaza, the volcano. It is the source of life, of existence, and we venerate it. The volcano is the holiest of places for our order.
Then why are they called the Priests of Ghat?
Because the winding paths are called Ghats.
Because they're the priests of the winding paths, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in case anyone else was confused for a second, apparently Kaza is whatever he just said, and Kava was the hallucinogenic.
Yes, different
Yeah,
ones,
different things. Yeah.
So I was like, wait a second.
Hold on.
They worship, the magic peyote drink. Like,
No. No, they worship the mountain.
Different strokes.
Well, it is a very interesting stone, to say the least. I'm not sure I've seen something quite like that. It's maybe more interesting. I don't really seem to see any kind of formations of something that looks like this on the island. Where have you been getting it?
Oh, we have members of our order acquiring it across the lands. We have them shipped in by merchants and sailors.
That is quite interesting. Well, why this stone in particular? I'm sorry for my curiosities. It's just that I've seen many religions, and I always get very interested in what kind of makes them different and stand out.
I mean, nothing more than what I've already said. It's to harness, focus, and concentrate the divine energies of Kaza into the land of Farzine.
that didn't sound so bad.
And I suppose this is all to keep Kaza appeased.
Yes, it is. The Kaza does not erupt and helps the island thrive.
And how long has this practice been going on?
At least 3 weeks.
At least since you walked up here and asked.
I used to work at this bar.
Around 50 to 100 years now.
I see. And I suppose before that, the volcano was rather active.
The volcano has been active in the history of the island, yes, but not any time recently. No.
Fascinating.
Izzodath would like to roll an insight check, specifically on them saying that essentially they're using the Wiklamite to keep like the harmony and like balance of the island. That's what I'm most suspicious about.
Okay, yeah, give me an insight check. Wisdom.
Nat 20, so 26 in total.
All right, so they fervently believe everything they're telling you. But when the priest mentions the volcano, you detect a twinge of fear in their voice.
I'm going to copy her, but I'm going to do a perception check and say that Rufus has been listening, but just sort of walking around like a cat do and just looking to see if there's anything else obvious around here or not obvious.
Hidden or suspicious.
Yeah, just something that might seem out of place or that might be trying to be hidden or something like that. Can I do that?
A secret tunnel?
That's perception, right?
Yeah, go ahead and give me perception.
Cool. Well, that's pretty low. That was only a 14.
You don't really see anything. I would say that with a 14, though, you do find a pamphlet of sorts that has a map of where the shrines are.
Oh, well, there you go.
That was very useful.
I'd be like, just over on the side, and I'm quiet, and I'm a cat, so who cares? Mr. Mouse, put this in the back. And Mr. Mouse will like run out and grab the little paper and pull it back inside the backpack.
Okay. All right.
And then I'll just sort of walk back over and continue listening.
Okay.
I'm waiting for us to like come across one of the priesthoods and are like, oh, a mouse, an abhorrent creature against our gods, slay it.
Don't you mess with Mr. Mouse. I grow to 20 times my size. That's not something I can do.
It's only.
So I've heard of some religions where everyone involved is treated as equals. There's no real hierarchy or structure. Is this kind of how you operate, or do you have like a high priest of sorts?
Well, we do have a high priestess, Lunsjata.
Lunsjata?
Yep, not going to be able to spell that one.
Lunzjata.
Just write lunch chowder and mispronounce it later.
Lunsjata.
And then then he'll correct you, and then it'll be fine.
She is our leader.
I see. I would be very intrigued to have a conversation with her, if that might be possible.
Sadly, I do not know where she is right now. She does a lot around the island, helping people, and I'm sorry, I cannot answer your question.
Well, that is okay. You answered it sufficiently. Things don't always work out the way that you want.
Is there anything else that we could help you with?
I think for now you have answered my questions quite well. Thank you for that. I will probably try to swing back by maybe a couple of times just to see if I might be able to talk to your high priestess. But otherwise, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for showing interest in our order, and may Kaza bless you.
Yes. May Kaza bless you as well.
Thank you, Mr. Priest.
Meow.
He nods to the cat that meowed at him.
And meow to you.
And meow to you as well.
Does anyone want to know what the green stone tastes like?
No.
I think it tastes salty.
Green apple Jolly Rancher.
Ooh. Maybe it tastes like a sour warhead.
Hey everyone, just a quick heads up. We'll be back after a short ad break. But in the meantime, did you know you can get more Microphones and Monsters awesomeness at patreon.com/creativetypo? Ad-free episodes, bonus content, and even uncut behind-the-scenes sessions are just a click away. And hey, stick around after the episode to discover another fantastic Creative Typo show you'll love. Mr. Lucius, I found something when we get away from them. I gotta show you.
Yeah, and as soon as we walk away or and kind of out at earshot of the priests, Izzodath will turn to Lucius and say, "It seems like they were telling the truth, but I think they're scared of the volcano."
Yes, I think whatever way we cut it, these priests that we spoke to are not influential within this religion. I think that they are merely followers and probably only know what they are allowed to know.
And I believe their fears are warranted about a volcano. It is a volcano.
Lucius.
Do I need to elaborate?
Mr. Mouse, get the paper out. And Mr. Mouse will run into my pack and he'll pull the paper out. And then I'll grab it with my mouth and I'll be like, Lucius, look at this. It's got a map of all the shrines on it. I know you're really good with maps.
Yes, very good. And looking at the map, does it kind of seem like there's maybe any kind of particular patterning or like direction that the shrines are going or anything like that? Like,
it doesn't really seem to be any kind of positioning, but there are some that are outside of the gates of the city, like this one, that seem to be more obscure locations.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what you were looking for.
Right. As I say, are there like more like in proximity with like the actual volcano itself, or are they all like away from the volcano?
They're just around the island. Like there's
just kind of all over.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say there's more around the mountain.
It just seems like just scattered all over without any real rhyme or reason.
Yeah, scattered. There's paths that go to them, but it's so people can walk the land and visit the shrines for worship and stuff.
I think that the thing that bothers me the most about what was said there is that they need the Wiklamite for Kava, but...
Kaza.
I'm sorry, Kaza.
Kava is the beverage. Kaza is the mountain.
Senior moment, sorry. They're very similar. It's easy to get them confused.
He knows a lot about drinking.
I don't drink often, but...
When I do, I prefer Dos Equis.
Yes.
When I do, I
prefer a
gallon of
gallon.
ale.
But when I do, it's a colossal bender.
But it does make me think that perhaps there is some kind of goal involving the volcano that most priests are not privy to. Like, perhaps they are channeling energy into it for some entity that might be there, or perhaps to trigger the volcano itself, although I'm not sure what point that would serve.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, and maybe we need to find the High Priestess.
Yes, I think we can probably gauge things a little better from her. At the very least, I think it is less likely that she would be a puppet.
Do we need to talk to the other priests?
Do you mean the priests of light?
Yeah, the other ones.
I suppose it couldn't hurt. They may have some knowledge or opinions about the priests of Ghat.
I would assume they would probably have discerning opinions about the other faith.
I guess the other thing we need to decide is, do we want to actually go and acquire some more Wiklamite for our future dealings?
I think we either try to find the priestess or talk to the other priest. I think we need to know more.
Would you like to know more?
Very well. We have a map. We can always try to acquire it later. And I do still think that it might be best to wait until the last moment before acquiring it, just so it is not discovered.
Yeah, if we found a map, there might be other maps.
That is also true. Perhaps there are shrines that aren't even on the map that you have.
Yeah, Adam, you said that the map was like a pamphlet, like it was kind of like a informational booklet, like you went to the, visitors center and got a map.
You are
Right.
here.
Yeah, so it's
Right.
got basically what they said on it, like about like the worship of the volcano and Kaza, all that. All that's basically what they said, just in a more informational way.
Mm-hmm.
This could be a good time to split the party, honestly.
And now we will split the party.
Well, I mean, we know where we can find the priests of light. We don't necessarily know where we can find the high priestess.
Yeah, you got no leads on that.
Yeah, but there's lots of townspeople we could be asking to see if they know of any further secluded shrines that aren't on the map, like old ones, or where they may have seen the priestess.
Okay, so are y'all splitting up?
I think that would be the best thing to do, given that there is a timetable and that people will be on trial very soon.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, how do we split up? Because no one can understand me except you people.
Well, I think it needs to be one big person with one little person in each pairing.
So the question is the pairing of Xerothin and Rufus going to be competent enough or does it need to be Xerothin? And I'm not worried about Lucius.
Right.
He'll just keep having his senior moments, but he looks like he looks like he was completely believable as a religious scholar.
Well, I mean, he is a cleric.
Right.
It's not like
Exactly. So he's got to go talk to the priest. So who's going with him and who's walking around talking to people? Is that Xerothin? And is Izzodath going to be able to walk up to people randomly? Because we know Xerothin will.
But that's probably not what we want.
Dad?
But someone's got to temper him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And Izzodath and Xerothin have, they went hunter-gathering together and it turned out fine, so.
What are you talking about? I didn't find shit.
But I led the horse to water. It's fine.
Well, there you go. That makes sense to me.
I think it might be smart if we kind of split up, and that way we can all try to find information and gather back at the end tonight.
Yes, I suppose that makes sense. I think I should go to the Priests of Light and have a conversation with them, both perhaps about their religion. I am genuinely curious, if I'm being honest, and about their opinions of the Priests of Ghat.
Yeah, I could go with you and protect you.
Well, I will appreciate the company.
Xerothin, do you want to come with me to see if we can find a shrine that maybe wasn't on the map, or if anybody in town maybe knows of where the priestess is?
No, I don't. But you are a very small and tiny girl and will probably be abducted in this pursuit. So I think it would be in your best interest if I watched over you and make sure that did not happen.
Okay, thanks, Xerothin. Next time on Microphones and Monsters.
I've forgotten myself. I have a problem. I've been indulging too much in the drink. I need guidance.
Would you like to pray to Kaza with me?
That would probably help.
Okay, Xerothin. Yeah, repeat after me. Oh, Kaza.
Oh, Kaza. Oh, Kaza.
Stoic and grand.
Stoic and grand.
Guardian of the land.
Guardian of the land.
After the mysterious death of his father, Vartan returns home to uncover the truth with the help of his newfound friends, Baya and Ovik. But his hometown of Eterno may have something even more sinister in store for them. Join us for their journey into the untold at etherealembracepodcast.com or anywhere you listen to podcasts by searching for Ethereal Embrace.